Hello, everyone. I'm here to happily finally say that the GG Tour drama is over. I want to give a huge thank you, huge shout out to everybody in my community and other tournament organization communities that helped make this happen. I 100% believe that without pressure from the community, without pressure that DLE put on these guys, without pressure that shareholders put on these guys, that they would not have paid out these salaries and these payments. At least not right away. They would have taken as long as possible if they even decided to pay at all. That is my personal belief. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, let me give you a quick recap of the drama, nothing too long. If you want the more full story, feel free to go watch the two other videos I have on this channel about the drama. Basically, one of our old primary sponsors was GG Tour. They hosted $500 tournament events with us, as well as paid labor costs to make those events happen and compensation to make those events happen, which I used for personal tournaments at DLE, and that's pretty much how DLE functioned as a tournament organization, taking their money and converting it into prize support and whatnot to run DLE tournaments. About 5 months ago, almost 6 months ago, half a year, GG Tour ran into delays and kept giving us fake dates of when we can expect payment for work that we already did, as well as players, what they earned from the tournament scene. And every time there would be something that would delay the payment date further and further and further, to where we are now, half a year later, finally getting all of our contracts paid out. And the biggest concern was the breakdown in communication between the employees, how certain employees, such as the president, treated me and other people within the community, as well as the CEO and his lack of action and him just pretty much hiding, even though he welcomed people to come email him, call him, whatever. But as soon as you do, he blocks you or doesn't answer you or whatever. And just in general, I didn't think we were going to get paid. And yet, here we are. Finally, we have been paid. So that's a quick little recap of the whole drama. The Yu-Gi-Oh community was waiting over for $3,000. And as far as I'm aware, everyone that should have been paid was paid out. But let's talk about developments in March, because that's kind of where things started becoming a thing again. It took kind of a quiet moment there where they made announcements and posts, but they didn't mean anything. March is the first time we had some substantial news. It started on the 1st. The GG Tour account, which I can only assume is the president of the company, said that they are expecting their first round of funding for 2023 in about a week, and those have already put in their claim for payment for one of our previous events should be paid by March 9th. I'm recording this video on March 10th. And we can talk a little bit because I have a little bit more to say about that in the future. And they say if there's a tournament organizer who directly paid any of these winners out of pocket, to contact Shinobi, and that they would fix that up. While I did not pay anyone out of pocket, I was getting a reservoir of money in my back pocket to potentially pay anyone if GG Tour had run with the cash. I do find it hilarious that they did not mention this until March, because had they mentioned this a lot earlier, I would have just paid out all the players since I knew I could recoup my costs. But that just goes to show their breakdown of miscommunication and how they do not communicate with the community. And to be honest, it's very obvious that they didn't know if this payment was even going to come through, and staying silent was probably the better idea so that they could scam the community and not actually have to pay anyone was probably the way to go for them. Now, in terms of actually getting paid on March 9th, that didn't happen. March 9th came and went, for me anyway, because a lot of people in the Discord were saying how they got paid. Of course, I checked, did not see any payments, pinged Shinobi, said, hey, did you run out of funds? What happened? It's 6 p.m. on March 9th. March 9th is almost over. Where's my payment? He hits me with the old Shinobi classic. I'm not the one transmitting payments. Again, passing responsibility. I don't have the details. A majority of it has been worked through, and they'll continue working through the list. And then immediately I hit him with the that's not what it said. Where's the communication? The same exact problem. You guys can read on there if you want. The same exact problem. Like, hey, where is the communication that, hey guys, we're still paying everyone out. There's been some hiccups, but everyone will be paid by the 10th, by the 11th, by whichever date. And that is kind of the core problem that I still have with GG Tour, even though they did end up paying everyone. Because I've already had people send me DMs like, hey, oh my God, Rye, they finally paid everyone. That means they're good now, right? Like they did no wrong. No, the same exact problem still exists in GG Tour, starting with this basic miscommunication. I did not get paid until the 10th. And I don't give a shit if I was the last person to be paid. I don't give a shit if I had to wait a little bit longer than what was pinged because people got, their money or whatever. What I care about is it still was not communicated. The promised date came and went and not everyone got paid. If I were in their shoes, if any other company was in their shoes, they would immediately go to all the people that still did not get paid and say, hey, tiny, tiny hiccup. You are all going to be paid the following day on the 10th. A lot of people may see that as a nitpick, but to me, that is the most basic thing you can do after fucking up this hard. The most basic thing you could do to show that you're trying to turn over a new leaf. I don't think they're trying to turn over a new leaf. I think they got called out publicly. A lot of people attacked them over it. And now they're paying as a sign of hey, no, look, we're paying the money because they got publicly exposed. I think have if I was not here specifically, if people like Alvin, people like Mercenary, people like anyone that has been supporting us in the GG Tour Discord to hold them accountable, if these people did not exist and constantly shove it in their face that they still owe the community money, I don't think we would have gotten paid today. I don't think we would have gotten paid ever, honestly. Now, based on this message, the first round of funding for 2023, I think they're still going to try and host tournaments, which is the worst business decision they could possibly make, even outside of trying to scam their community. They they spent thousands of dollars and were not able to actually turn that into anything. They turned it into a bunch of fake Twitter followers, and that's it. They don't have a YouTube presence, a Twitch presence. They don't have anything to show for all of the money that they spent to even try and recuperate any of that money. They don't even have a plan. They don't even have a functioning website they could put ads on, for free for them to recoup some of these costs. So eh, a bit of business advice from me, GG Tour, leave esports. You have done more damage to the esports scene than any of you can ever imagine. Um, Sonobi, you are a terrible manager. You do not know how to coordinate from your team to any contractor's team. And I don't actually know what you do here because every single time I ask you something, it's always, I don't control that. I'm not the one that can get you that information. I can't tell you anything. So what do you do? The president of the company, Mr. Ark1, Ars1, whatever the fuck your name is, you I don't know what you do at all, and you still have not apologized for your poor professional behavior in our personal DMs with one another. What's going on with that? Mr. John Whitman, the CEO of the company, why have you not reached out and apologized to any of the tournament organizers? Because according to you, you don't even know who we are. You're not a part of the community at all, but apparently you control a lot more in GG Tour than what the other two jokers in your Discord do. So why haven't you reached out to me and all of the tournament organizers to apologize personally rather than some random Discord ping, hoping that that's enough to quell people's anger towards you? The whole thing is stupid, chat. There's no way that these guys can ever make it in esports. They simply do not have the correct business sense to make it as an esports organization. And it looks like they're going to try again. I think that would just be the dumbest thing they could possibly do. Um, if they even try to enter the Yu-Gi-Oh space, I of course will reach out to whoever is hosting it and let them know the situation so that they are fully aware of what's going on. But outside of that, I can't control you guys if you want to play in GG Tour tournaments. Just be aware you may not get paid. It took a lot of community effort to force these guys to pay, and I don't think they're paying out of the kindness of their hearts. I think they got exposed, they got embarrassed to try and save face. They went out and paid what they were owed. Um, so there you go. I've already had a couple of DMs of people saying, "Are you going to host tournaments for them again now that they've paid?" No, that's not going to happen again. And that's purely a business decision. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, Dry just doesn't like them personally now after everything they did, and rightfully so, and all this stuff." But let's be fair. This is purely a business decision not to work with these guys anymore. They have proven to be incompetent. They are dangerous to work for. If you don't have a platform like I do, did you guys know that some of the tournament organizers didn't even have a contract with GG Tour? A lot of the tournament organizers that came after DLE did not have a contract with the company. One of the many tournament organizers I spoke to that didn't want to appear on camera or be named, so I'm not going to dox anyone or anything like that. They told me that they did not have an active contract with GG Tour and that they just were promised to pay. So when I told them that that I do have a contract and there is a legal basis for them to pay me, they were surprised. They were like, "Oh, this is a lot more serious than I thought it was. I thought this was just like, they didn't give you money." But no, they legally did not give me money, which is a much larger issue than just simply, oh, they didn't pay out players or they didn't pay out streamers or whatever the situation, right? So I know a lot of tournament organizers may be trying to work with GG Tour. I'm just going to tell you right now, I think that is a horrible business decision. You can reach out to DLE and I will be happy to sit down with you and talk numbers and talk, what your tournaments bring in. And I'd be happy to point you in the direction of some of my sponsors. Um, I really don't. We don't need GG Tour's money anymore. DLE now has many other sponsors that make way more than we ever made with GG Tour. But I understand the perspective of, being in a company that you don't necessarily enjoy. When we first started working with DLE, we didn't have a lot of the opportunities, or I'm sorry, when we first started working with GG Tour, we didn't have a lot of the opportunities we had today. So I understand where other TOs are coming from. Just please reach out to me. My Discord is always open. My email is always open. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and get you in contact with some good, reliable sponsors that I have had only positive experiences with. Don't work with these guys anymore. They're not worth it. And to GG Tour specifically, please, please leave esports alone. Go do anything else with your company. Turn into a video game drama channel on YouTube with clickbait titles for all I care. You guys do not know how to run esports tournaments. And you are just doing way more harm. You're going into communities, small communities that may not have a following like DLE, and you are making these promises that you cannot fulfill, and because it's not sustainable. Even if you go and make 100 more events right now, you don't have a sustainable plan to recoup your losses. So in 8 more months, you're just going to have the same situation again and run out of money and screw over another group of people. And this time I might not be there. Like people, there may not be a DLE there with a wide YouTube audience, with a wide Twitch audience to try and put you accountable, and you might get away with it. Don't do that. That's a shitty thing to do. Please. Lads, thank you so much for your support. This whole thing was extremely stressful. You guys know me. I really don't enjoy drama. That's why I try to minimize any drama I get into. This was by far the worst one that I personally had to experience. Um, I have lost sleep just thinking about how these guys could potentially run away with funds. I have paid out of pocket for my team to recover from having to deal with these guys not paying. And I'm just glad it's over. I'm just glad that tomorrow I don't have to wake up and check the GG Tour Discord to see if we get paid. I am so happy that I don't have to deal with another one of Sonobi's awful early 1900 references that no one ever understands. I am so happy that I just do not need to deal with it anymore and the drama is finally over. Huge, huge thank you to the community. The money that I was saving up will be reinvested into the tournament scene. In fact, tomorrow's tournament on Saturday normally is a $100 prize pool. It is going to be $500 in celebration of GG Tour finally ending the drama. I am calling the tournament series GG Poor. I think that is hilarious and very, very fitting for the end of this situation. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I love you so much. Go fuck yourself, GG Tour. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the event and for the weekly Meta Power community tier list that we'll be putting on YouTube in the following weeks. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye. Peace out.